So I wrote a column today, put it up on Facebook and on Twitter and on Cricket Fanatics Magazine's website, of course. You can go check it out on cricketfanaticsmag.com. We have spoke about whether what Boucher has done so far, his choices, his focus, is it correct or incorrect, the way he approached certain things. Go and check that out, obviously, on cricketfanaticsmag.com and on Facebook as well. I apologize for canceling the show, the Offside Maiden show. Something came up, and the ladies, it's been postponed, obviously, because something's come up. So it's postponed till next week, Friday. So instead of that, we thought we'll bring you a Q&A like we normally do, which we were going to originally do before we came up with the Offside Maiden show, which is an excellent opportunity for all women in the cricket and in sport to really have a voice and an opinion, to give their opinions on a platform that's solely for them. I thought that we'll do a Q&A. So we probably will be doing these type of shows hopefully on a Thursday, unless we have interviews that join us on the show, on the daily show. But today we're just going to do a Q&A with all of you guys, where you guys get to ask us anything that you want to ask us. So please throw them in the comment section. We are live on Facebook as well. So let's see who can get more likes, Facebook or YouTube. Let's see who wins it on that one. And obviously smash that subscribe button. But let's get into the questions. Get your questions in. We're gonna answer all of that next. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid Moeddin. You are about my own name. I'm your host, Khalid Moeddin, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. This is your Q&A, where the fans get to ask myself and Aditya as many questions as they want. We are streaming, as I said, live on Facebook and on YouTube. So guys, get involved. Share this with all your friends and family. Get it on everybody's timelines, whether it's on WhatsApp, you want to share it with them, or any social media platform, do so, please. Smash that like button, of course. Let's see who wins on Facebook and on YouTube. And like I said, click that notification bell, please, so that you can get updates on all the shows that we have going forward. So yeah, I wanted to say another apology, send out another apology for the postponement of the show tonight, the Offside Maiden show. The ladies really wanted to do it, but unfortunately something came up and we couldn't bring it to you. So thanks a lot for all the support and understanding. You guys have really been very understanding when we've gone through things and we've postponed shows or we've canceled shows. You guys have been very understanding with regards to that. So thanks a lot for all of that support. Welcome to the show, Aditya. Luckily for this particular show, not like the other ones that we've done, there's already some questions waiting for us. Let's get straight into it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me start off this one, actually, because someone asked in the last stream, Aditya, where did you get your haircut? And I think people want to know, where did you get your haircut, Aditya?
At home. You know, in the outer lockdown, we don't have access to salons and hairstylists and so on, and it's not safe to do so either with COVID and all that. So I had to wait. It was, I think, 3 months overdue, but I guess because of circumstances, I had to delay my haircut. But yeah, I think thank you to everyone commenting on my haircut. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so guys, you know what to do. Aditya's going to put his number in the comment section, so you guys can just give him a call. I'm saying, can organize you a haircut. That's tongue in cheek. That's a joke, guys. Let's get into it. The first question to the both of us, Aditya. Do you think Kyle will get a debut in this windy series? Such a talented player shouldn't be on the sidelines. I'll give you that one to start off with.
I agree with you. Such a talented player should not be on the sidelines. So that's absolutely valid. Will he get a debut? My view is that it would depend on what the ideal balance of that team would be. If the team needs an extra batsman, then I think Kyle would get a shot at. But if they feel like they need the additional spinner, if they need 2 spinners instead of 1, then I don't think Kyle will get an opportunity to play because St. Lucia tracks have typically been, low and slow, favoring the slower bowlers. So if the team decides to go in that direction, then I think it'll be difficult for Kyle to get an opportunity. But in saying that, I do hope he gets an opportunity in this Test series.
If we don't see two spinners, and we pick a number 7, do you think that we need a number 7 that can bat and bowl, like an all-rounder number 7, or do you think it's possible to maybe play Kyle at 6 and then move Quinton to 7 where he's batted before, or do you only see Quinton batting at 5 and 6? If Kyle does come in, who gets left out?
Well, I think what they'd have to do is they'd have to switch that spinner's role and give Aiden Markram a lot of overs to bowl. So they need to sort that out with him because they do need to have a spinning option. You can't go into a Test match without a spinner. But then I guess Keshav Maharaj would be primary spinner. So yeah, it is a bit of a challenge to determine who will make that spot. But in saying that, I do think that Quinton's best spot in the order is 6, and Kyle should probably come in at 7.
If you read my opinion piece on cricketfanaticsmag.com earlier on, I suggested that they drop somebody for at least one of the Test matches, at least, and possibly not either Rassie or Temba or one of them, to drop one of them and put in Kyle Verreynne, because I think these Test series and every Test series we play now until the next Test championship should be about rebuilding and building a Test team, because I think that we need to build a team that can possibly play in 2 Test championships on the bounce, because you want to build a winning mentality. And because a Test championship happens over 2 years, you need a team that will be able to play over 2 years. You don't want the guy to retire halfway through a Test championship and then have a different team in the second half of the Test championship. For example, if age does affect Rassie and Temba, the more experienced guys, you don't want to be able to drop them because they're all formed out of the team and then having to blood in a new youngster at that point. I think rather think about the future, and that's what I think. I think that Kyle should get a chance. Whether we will see him or not, it doesn't seem likely from the press conference that I saw from Dean Elgar, because they asked about Kyle, and they asked about Keegan, but they only answered on Keegan's behalf, if I remember that press conference correctly. Okay, let's go into the next one. Linda at number 6, Victorious at number 7, and Morris at number 8 gives an extra bowling option and add batting depth. What do you think, Hardy? Are you talking about T20 cricket, Test cricket? You're probably talking about T20 cricket here, if you're putting in Morris's name and Pretorius's name over here. So it must be. So I'm going to be thinking that you're talking about that and say that's an excellent lineup. Myself and Aditya have been speaking about this, and if Morris is available, then sure. If Morris makes himself available and the Proteas make him available, then yes, certainly that's an excellent 6, 7, 8. If not, we'll have to see who they select in this full squad, and then we can start picking teams. I don't want to be saying things yet until I know the squad, because there are so many. I don't want to upset any players either. That's not something that I want to do either. So let's move on to the next one. But I do like that, Kani, if that's how I pronounce your name. Please correct me in the comment section. Do you agree, Aditya? I didn't even ask your opinion on that. Wow.
Yeah, I think if you're referring to T20 cricket, then it sounds a bit plausible. Although I think George Linde is more of a number 7 than a number 6, and we shouldn't get into that mindset that we need to have as many all-rounders as possible in that team. At some stage you have to think of specialist batsmen, a couple of all-rounders, and then specialist bowlers. So I don't know if all 3 all-rounders would have a place in the 11, but they're all quality players, and I suppose their presence in the 11 would depend on the conditions of the day and the opposition.
Yeah, of course. I just want to check here if there's any question. Sorry if I'm looking down, guys. I just want to check if there's anything over here that is on Facebook from Facebook's comment section. Nothing over here currently. So, guys, YouTube is currently winning. Let's go over to the next question. Proteas should rest the Cock and Gidi, Van der Dussen, and give chance to Williams, Janssen, and Verreynne. That's a good option as well. Bring cricket connoisseur. I think he's currently busy with all the things that are happening with England currently. So we weren't supposed to do the show because obviously Offside Maidens was supposed to be on. So me and Aditya just put something quickly together. So we didn't have time to actually ask Aaron. You see, Aaron, I have to ask before the time because the man is busy as well. Me and Aditya have spoken to each other and agreed that we're going to be doing these shows as much as possible together. So we have an agreement. Whereas with Aaron, we're going to obviously have to get him on before the time and get him and prep him before the time. You know how the English guys work. They want everything to be so aligned. I wonder if he's in the comment section here watching the show. If you do want to come on, Aaron, then you can just send me a message on WhatsApp and I'll send you the link. Now we need to win. Pick the strongest team. Don't rest key players. So that's also something that I touched on in my piece. So please go ahead and have a look over there, guys. Two likes from Facebook. So let's get smashing the likes over here. We need to keep them up and running. So we need to beat. Of course, you need to beat Facebook. Facebook needs to beat YouTube, and YouTube needs to be Facebook. Let's see who wins this one. I'm sharing this on my social media platform just to get as many people as possible to watch the stream. Bring on the cricket connoisseur, mate. I already explained that. It's good that you guys are asking for him. You guys are pushing his ego to the next level now. So if I show you that comment, he's probably going to be smiling from ear to ear. So thank you for that great comment. Bring back Aaron, Shay, Tim, Lubabalu, also a bye. Yes, we will be doing so. We will be getting shows when they're all available. You guys are asking for a lot of people at the same time. So obviously, think about it. You have to get all of these people's schedules aligned. Now, remember, we're going to be having review shows and we're going to be having preview shows that will be separate as well from our daily shows. Sometimes they will be together. Sometimes they won't. We'll be bringing on the Caribbean podcast guys to come on, or one of them at least, the main guy to come on as well on the show, to come have a chat with us. So we will be picking our teams then as well. Nice Katora cut from Aditya. SA Cricket is in for our times, gents. Best bet is in Aiden era 2023 onwards. Aditya looking like an MMA fighter. Yeah, I was actually thinking about that a little bit. I was a bit scared for a little while over there. Cool haircut, Aditya. All the guys you see, even on the stream, they are. So if you guys love his haircut, join the Patron, guys. Get involved with the Patron. Maybe then you can help me also get a cool haircut. If you join our Patron as well. Khalid, what do you think is our best reserve fast bowler to replace 1 kg, Nokia, and Ngidi if an injury was to occur? So, quick bowler, pace-wise, currently Marco Jansen, because he has the pace, he has his left arm option, and he's young, and he's for the future. So a lot of the time you will see that my options are always going to be for the younger guys. There's a joke that goes around my friend circle that I like the youth players. I give the youth players too much attention, and I want to back them too quickly. And so there's a joke going around there that that's all my friends that I want to back. So it's not necessarily the case. I like players that have a certain mentality, and if they show it from a young age, I want to get them into the team instantly, because I think groom them as fast as possible, because I think guys with the right mindset have a bigger chance of performing. So that is something that I always believe, and I will always believe, because also I'm a Man United supporter, and that's what Manchester United also, that is ingrained in our club. I'm giving youth players an opportunity from a young age if they are the right players and have the right mindset and ability. So I would say Marco Jansen currently within the setup. If I'm going to go for experience, then I would have to say, because I'm talking about quick here, I'm going to have to say either uh, Clinton Steedman or the Pavlon, because what they've done in the past seasons in Test cricket, in 4-day cricket as well, they've been consistent. Uh, because they've also been selected for previous teams as well. That's why I would say they're next in line. Luto Sapamla is an interesting one, and a lot of people might have asked why didn't I say Luto? And I'm a big fan of Luto, and I love what he has available, what his ability is. But if those fast bowlers are missing, I'll probably swap Ngidi for Luto because they're on a similar pace level. And they have a similar type of skill set with regards to the slower deliveries and putting it on the target, the way they get wickets. Whereas KJ and Nokia are very different type of bowlers. They're more aggressive bowlers, quicker bowlers. They bowl 145 plus. So that's why I wouldn't swap out KJ or Nokia for Luto. Maybe I'll swap Ngidi for Luto, but Ngidi again gets steep bounce. So they're all different type of fast bowlers. So that's why it depends on, to me, or who's playing and who's not playing. And that's how I will make my decision on who gets to play. It won't just be a straight swap for this person just because for the sake of it. I don't know. What do you believe, Aditya, on this one?
Yeah, I think if we're looking at the squad that has been selected for the West Indies, then it makes more sense that Marco Jansen is the replacement for any of these guys if there was an injury. In saying that, I agree with you. I think Clinton Stearman is also a very good option. PM here writes that Jared Quincy is an option as well. Absolutely. But then you also need to look at the specific roles in the team, as you rightly mentioned. KG and Andrik Nokia, they X factor bowlers. They can swing the ball at pace. KG can swing the ball at pace. Andrik gets his wickets. Bowling good length or short balls. That's his strength. And Ngidi is more like that metronome sort of bowler. Who can just land the ball same place, ball after ball. That's his strength. So it depends entirely on who is injured and what their role is in the bowling group.
Can't believe I didn't say it. Lazard Williams, straight away. I think I'll first give. So. I would like to first give the guys opportunities that have been selected in the squad first and foremost. I don't want to pull out someone that hasn't been selected because they're most likely to start. They're most likely to get a debut if they've already been in the squad. If you understand what I mean. So Gerald Garcia hasn't been in the squad yet. He hasn't had a prolonged 4-day series campaign that I can say I've seen enough of him to say straight into the test arena. I think that he's still very young and he has a lot of room to grow. I think he needs to work a full season under Alan Donald, playing 4-day cricket game to game before I can say, okay, look here, pick him. Michael Pretorius as well is another person to talk about. But if I'm talking about the current squad, I think Lazard Williams first and foremost. If one of them get injured straight away, I think Lazard, he's been excellent in the last 4 seasons in domestic cricket. So not just one. Even in the season where he didn't play much for the Cobras, he went on loan to the Lions and he was excellent there. So Lazard Williams deserves the credit that he's been getting recently, definitely. Okay, let's see. Okay, you've already asked that question. Try to ask the questions at only once, guys, unless I've missed it. Who will be the 6th bowling option in the squad against the West Indies? So we got KG, Andrich, Keshav, Lungi. Yeah. Then we'll have Vian Mulder, if Vian Mulder does play in number 7 position. Or if they go with the extra batsman, that's the question. And then the extra bowler will have to be Aiden.
Yeah.
If I think of everybody else that is playing. I know that Keegan likes to give a few spinning there, likes to spin a little bit there, but I don't think he's going to be considered as one of the bowlers. But yeah, Aiden Markland would have to be the 6th bowling option. Otherwise, you're going to have to take a second spinner. And depends on the wicket. I haven't really seen too much cricket in the West Indies, enough cricket in the West Indies to say, look here, I know exactly how this wicket is going to be, because wickets change. We can assume how a wicket's going to be, and then it's not like that. Like in Pakistan, we assume that wickets are going to be heavily spinning wickets, and not all of them were. Some of them were, some of them weren't. They were a little bit in what's the word I'm looking for? inconsistent. So yeah, sixth bowling option for you, Aditya.
Yeah, so KG, Anna, Keshav Maharaj. I have a feeling Vian Mulder would play, so I'm just going to assume that Vian Mulder is going to play.
Yeah,
There's a lot of ability. So we've got Vianda, and there's probably it, it's either between George Lind and Lungi. That that to me is the toss up for Boucher. If he thinks that the extra seamer can win them the game versus the extra spinner, that's the conundrum.
that's what I also want to know. Whether they will play the extra spinner. Interesting question over here, Aditya. What happened to that kid that scored 1,008 in a school competition match in India a few years ago? Do you know?
Um, I actually don't.
Wow!
Because
Guys, smash the like button, please, because smash the like because that's one of the first questions that Aditya couldn't answer.
I mean, it's it's such a tricky one. I know what you're talking about. I think that kid's name was Pranav or something like that. Um,
I just double check. I can't remember. I remember doing the story, but it was so long ago. I can't remember.
yeah, his name was Pranav Ganavare. He scored in 2016. He scored 1,000 runs in a game. But it the thing is these things they do tend to make the headlines for a bit, but then you also need to see that this sort of stuff, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're ready for a higher level cricket. There was a lot of criticism uh, for the fact that the coaches tended to allow that to happen as opposed to uh, pursue a result in that game. So, it wasn't. So the fact that he scored 1,008 wasn't necessarily in the best interest of the game or the rest of the team or the two teams that were playing. Um,
Yeah, so
and
that's a
we,
that's a proper beating. That's like that's corporal punishment. That
yeah, because I'll tell you a story from back in the day. When Sachin Tendulkar and Vinod Kambli, 1988 February 1988, they made that world record partnership, 664 runs. In the semi-finals of the Harris Shield, and it went. The newspapers went berserk. But if you look from that period, 1988 February, Sachin was playing school cricket. November, December 1988, he made his first class debut in the Ranji Trophy. And November 1989, he made his India debut.
it's
So
crazy.
that's an insane story. And it was such that there were a couple of days between between the semi-final in which they made that 664 run partnership and the final, which his team won. And in between that, Sachin batted for another team on another ground, and he scored 170 there.
That's
So
craziness.
it's insane. It's like the number of runs that he scored in like three of those games in the Harris Shield are the sort of runs that people aspire to make in an entire season.
I wish I was at that age to be able to see Shashin come through the system, and become the player he was. It's like that's why I'm hoping that one of these players that we're currently following and watching in South African cricket, that they become something great. Because I would love to be at the forefront, to be able to sit back in a couple of years' time and say, look here, we've seen one of the greats play. I mean, I was lucky enough to see, like, for example, in football, I was lucky enough to see the rise of Cristiano Ronaldo from the game one that he played at for Sporting against Man United. I saw that game right through to him signing, right to him becoming one of the greatest players that ever lived. So we're lucky that we've got to see two, Messi and Ronaldo. So I'm hoping that we get to see something similar with one of the youngsters that have come through the system now, that they become a great. Who are South Africa's death bowlers in T20 cricket? So South Africa, I feel, are very lucky in that, or maybe it's strategic. A lot of the players that they are currently, a lot of the bowlers that they are currently selecting are good death bowlers. We saw that Marco Jansen took that in the IPL. He took that opportunity to bowl in the death there, which I was very shocked about. Did he? If I remember
Yeah,
correctly, I
he
think
did.
there
He
was
did
one game he
last
did. Yeah.
last over to AB.
Yes. So excellent over there. So that's a youngster coming through the system. Lazard Williams has done it for the Titans. He did it for the Proteas. Lungi Ngidi done it for the Proteas. And Dile Pechlekwa has done it for the Proteas. KG Rabada has done it for his IPL team. Nokia has done it for his IPL team and for the Pro. I don't know if he's done it for the Proteas yet, but I know that KG's done it for the Proteas. So we've got a couple of death bowlers. Bjorn Hendricks was considered to be one of the good ones, and Sasanda Magala was considered to be one of the best domestic. He is actually one of the best domestic death bowlers. We didn't see him be able to manage to do it at the international level as well as he did it domestically, but we know what he's capable of in that, and we saw him doing it in the MSL as well. But if I have to choose between the guys from the first team, I would say that KG and Anrich Nokia should be our death bowlers for South Africa. I think they're the guys that are really going to step up. I don't know who you believe should be.
Definitely, KG and Andrik should be there as well. And Sander Magala, he'll get better. I think he's shown tremendous potential in the series against Pakistan, but he'll continue to get better.
Oh.
And generally, I think South Africa is spoiled for choice with respect to death bowling. It's a great position to be in.
Yeah. Let's go to the next one. No, I will pick Linda over Maharaj in tests. Linda picked Pfeiffer in last test. No. I don't think they will. Maharaj is the number one spinner for South Africa. Mark Boucher said that in one of his press conferences that every single game he will play with a spinner, and he rated Keshav very highly, and I also rate Keshav very highly. I mean, Keshav was thrown in the pot as one of the options as captain for South Africa. So I think at the right now, Keshav is that guy. I think you'll play Linda according to who the all-rounder will be. So either in the sixth position or maybe even in a seventh position if you want to go and bat deeper. I think South Africa must not take West Indies lightly. It will not be easy facing Kemmer Roach and Shannon Gabriel and Jason. Oh, I'm a big fan of Jason Holday. Yes, in recent, and he's a very humble. Comes across as a very humble guy in interviews. In recent, West Indies have done well at home, and that's true as well. Let's get some more questions in here, guys. Do you think Kyle will get any chance to play in the Caribbean? We already answered that question. Let's go to the next one. Why is Aiden Markram failed to live up to his potential in limited overs internationals? Is that what you're talking about? Okay, so that's a tough one to answer, but I'll try my best to do so. I think that when Aiden was introduced into limited overs cricket, he was thrown in the deep end instantly. He was given the captaincy against the best, possibly the best ODI team of that generation and that time, India, who came down here and they battered South Africa in that particular series. South Africa were lacking some of their best players in that ODI series, but still, India completely dominated them, and they gave it to a new young captain on the fly and expected him to perform. The pressures of that and the pressures of having to keep his game consistent in Test cricket as well, I think that's been the difficult one for him. I think also he needed to sort out the gap between domestic cricket, where you are facing maybe one or two excellent bowlers in a game, to go into ODI cricket and expecting to play when you're facing world-class bowlers in almost every single bowler that you face is a world-class bowler when it comes to ODI cricket. You're not going to get someone that is average when you're playing international cricket, and that jump is different, and that jump is difficult. And I think that the consistencies that you have to face as an opening batsman in limited overs cricket, or even if you have a batting collapse, it's difficult because the accuracy is going to be a lot more. Also, South Africa has been struggling. So when South Africa struggles, it's difficult for someone to just to randomly stand out. So I think there's multiple of factors that are involved when it comes to Aiden Markram, because I mean he looked so good for his 30s, and then he would lose his wicket, play a stupid shot, go out, or misjudge a ball and go out. So I think it's a number of issues. Aditya, what are your thoughts on this one?
It's look. We should clarify that Aiden in T20s has been outstanding. Uh, Certainly in that Pakistan series, he was brilliant there, and his attacking ability cannot be questioned. With one day internationals, I thought that there was a game plan that was lacking, because you can't go through you can't go through 50 over game where you're just trying to smash it around the ground a lot. And they were playing in conditions that were pretty tough, certainly in this Pakistan series. um, what I'd said about Aiden at the time was that he needs to formulate a game plan for himself. And he needs to identify ways in which that he can place situations. I think that's the key to succeeding in one day cricket. And at the time, I'd cited Rohit Sharma's example, and I feel like Aiden Markram is a similar type of player. Whereby as an opener he can take some time, get set, and when he's really got his eye in, then maybe he can attack a little more. But in saying that, I agree with Khalid when he says that generally the team has been struggling in ODI cricket. And again, if we talk about that Pakistan series, in each of those three games, over 60% of the balls that South Africa faced were dot balls. So that doesn't help. That won't help you win games at all. But yeah, I do think Aiden Markram needs to formulate a template for himself, and in doing that, we'll see him score some pretty big hundreds.
Okay, guys, last question for the evening before we say goodbye to you guys. Khalid, do you agree with me that our best chance at glories of the past is Aiden Markram era from 2023 to 2030 in all formats? Currently, it seems like building transition phase. And I agree with that. If Boucher, so go read my column. It's on cricketfanaticsmag.com and see what I had to say over there. Because what I'm trying to say over here is that if Boucher decides that, yes, he's going to take this time to rebuild South Africa into what they are becoming and not fold to the pressures of winning, because you're going to have to take that risk. I'm not saying that we can't win with the youngsters, because we should be able to win with these talented youngsters that are coming through the system. I'm not saying that they mustn't go in there without a winning mentality. They must go there with the intention of winning every game. But the risk of you not performing or not winning is higher if you're going to pick a whole lot of youngsters. So they should be rebuilding and trying to find the next generation of cricketers, because I think that there are some players within this team that also have the end of their careers around the corner. So yes, I think our best chance of dominating will be in that period because of the talent that is in South Africa currently coming through the system. So I agree with you over there, Aditya.
Look, I think we have to look at the best chance of glories in cricket to be now. We've been talking about having a transition or like a building phase for quite a while, and technically we've been in a building phase for at least the last 6 years, in my view.
Yeah, but they haven't really. I never got the view that they actually were trying to rebuild.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? It was always trying to, like, they always picked older players or more experienced players. And that doesn't count as rebuilding for me. I don't know if you agree.
I think the challenge is always between acknowledging the fact that you're probably not going to win as much, and rebuild there, versus focus on building a winning mentality. Now, what's happened is that in that period, between, I suppose, 2017 and 19, the focus was on trying to win, and I don't think that has changed. But now we're in a position where we have no choice but to rebuild, and therefore results will have to take a back seat because you know players take time. Players will take time to evolve, and I suppose we've got to be patient with the team. But I suppose we have to look. 2 years is a fairly long time, and um, it shows that South Africa is thinking about the future. So I think Dean Elgar and Temba having 2-year appointments is it's an indication of that they're trying to bring in some sort of stability.
Yeah, and I think maybe the 2023 World Cup, because we have a very talented ODI team. So I think for with a lot of balance, if they keep that squad the way that it is currently, I think it's a very talented team. I don't think they must fold and not trust the youngsters, because I think these youngsters are excellent. Like, for example, I think that Calvarene in that squad is so important, and they should actually play him more consistently over there. So yeah, let's see what they do with the ODI side. The 2023 World Cup could possibly be the catalyst that takes us forward and pushes us to the next generation if we can win that. Because I mean, they have enough time now to build for that. I feel they have enough time to prep and build if they give the right guys the right opportunities now in West Indies, Ireland, Sri Lanka, in series to come until the 2023 World Cup. Let's pick a young team that can grow till then. But guys, keep your questions for the next time we do another Q&A. Follow us on all our social media platforms, on Instagram specifically, because Instagram is where we update you on all the new shows, as well as Twitter. So we do it on Facebook as well, so smash the Facebook button as well so that you can become a follower there too, because a majority of our articles get shared there, not on Instagram. So you have to follow us on all platforms to get the whole Cricket Fanatics magazine experience. Guys, keep your questions for next time. We'll see you guys again very, very soon. Please subscribe to the channel, share it with all your friends and family, and let's get this video trending in other people's recommended feeds. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys again on Sunday evening with another podcast show. Take care, everybody.